Gang, on today's podcast, I'll be interviewing Coleman Ferguson. So Coleman, if you don't know that name, he runs the Gala 417 at the beach, which is a wedding venue. And then he has a ice cream business called Superhero Ice Cream that his son helped start, his very young son. But these two businesses have nothing to do with something that he is so audacious, which is trying to bring an arena to Virginia Beach. And Coleman and I sit down and talk about this arena and the arena opportunity. So you'll want to pay attention, you want to listen, and if you want to invest, you can reach out to Coleman and try to bring an arena to where maybe we can have professional basketball, amazing concerts. And so it's an audacious idea and opportunity, and we'll want to hear what Coleman has to say about it. See you on the other side.
And we're at the speed down to 2,500.
Good point. Wherever you reduce speed to 180.
Blackbox.
Hey gang, welcome back to KP's Blackbox. Today I have a special guest that I've actually been watching in the media and in the market here in Hampton Roads. New friend, Coleman Ferguson. Coleman, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, man.
So many of you are probably thinking, Coleman Ferguson, what the heck? Who's that guy?
Right.
Well, if you notice, I also have a basketball on the desk today. We're going to talk about basketball. We're going to talk about arenas.
Yep.
So if that's making it come alive for you, Coleman here has taken on the audacious task of trying to bring an arena to Hampton Roads, specifically Virginia Beach.
Correct. Yep.
So welcome to the show, and we're going to dig into that.
Yeah,
and,
let's dig in.
See where it lands us. So thanks for coming on short notice, by the way.
Oh, thank you. No, this was great. I'm anything that if I can talk about the arena in any way, I'm on it.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Well, before we get into that, I was just telling you pre-show, one of the things that we always like to do is make a salute to our veterans and those that are still serving. I was a prior Marine. Your father was in the Army.
Yep.
And so at any time we get an opportunity to say thanks to our service members, we want to make sure that we do that. And as always, for the next year, at least until May of 2026,
Yep.
Coleman, my buddy Harold Underdown at Four Branches Bourbon,
Yep.
we are drinking their bourbon. Now, today Coleman's going to have water because he's not a drinker, and I didn't want to force it on him, so...
I'm not a drinker. I quit a long time ago, but it's one of those things. I will drink, but I don't drink very often.
Yeah.
But we're doing this podcast, and I'm gonna put this water back real easy.
Got to be careful that water. We might have done something to it over there. So, hey,
Don't worry. Hey, cheers!
Cheers.
Cheers to this.
yes,
Cheers to
Thank
our
you.
military.
Man, that brown water,
That's good.
it loosens you up a little bit. But
Yeah.
how's that Virginia Beach tap water?
Oh man, Virginia Beach's tap water. To be honest, not to have an opinion on everything, but I like. I've been in other. When I go to New Jersey, for some reason, I do not like New Jersey's tap water. Again, Florida's. I do feel like tap water is different. I know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would
obviously,
agree.
Flint, Michigan is different, but yeah, I'm good with it. Virginia Beach tap water seems pretty clean to me. I've tested it before.
Yeah.
It comes up like low chlorine. No, nothing.
I think we are high ranked, and folks.
Yeah,
there
I
was
think
a years ago, the Today Show did a thing on city water.
Yeah.
And I think we were in the top 20, if I remember right.
Oh wow, yeah. I think
Maybe even top 10.
Yeah, when
remember.
I travel, I always get a little tap water from somewhere, and whether you go out to eat or whatever, and it's I like ours.
New York still ranks. I think it's New York City specifically ranks number one with water.
Wow.
Because it comes down out of the Catskills, and it's a naturally fed water. And so they've got really, even though it's a big city, and people
Yeah.
think, ooh, it's probably coming out of some nasty municipality,
Yeah.
but it's really good.
Yeah, good. I'd like to. I think our drinking water should be pretty high priority.
Right.
Yeah, I think that should be one of those things. I don't know how the Flint, Michigan had this problem and it just didn't get solved very quick. Just couldn't fix it for a while. It was just unbelievable.
City leaders a lot of times just bury their heads in the ground, and that's some of what we'll talk about today. Hopefully, our city leaders can really get behind
Yeah,
what you're trying to do with an arena. And we were talking pre-show, and I've been watching, some of your stuff that's been on social media, Coleman. And what really resonated with me is the approach that you're taking versus the approach that when I was a minority owner in the first D League that the NBA brought out, which is the Florida Flames, which is where I brought the most expensive basketball for me.
Right.
Was this ball that's an actual game ball.
That's so cool.
That we played with, and the most famous signature on there, Coleman, is Dennis Johnson, Boston Celtics point guard with Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I like it.
So
I don't know if I'd pay that much for it, his autograph, as much as you pay. But I mean,
it wasn't on purpose.
With the money well invested and with the story that came with it, I think that was for sure.
Yeah. So I had massive empathy for you when I heard that you were taking on this task of trying to bring an arena, but I actually think it's brilliant. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
In that you're approaching it from build it, and the D League will come, the NBA will come, the concerts will come.
Right. So I'm doing a kind of almost reverse what you did.
Yeah.
You started a team and had a hard time trying to find the right place to play. If we build this arena, we're going to do concerts and shows. I think that's a no-brainer. But this is our chance. If we have an arena, this is a very attractive for any team, any league that wants to come here. You have to have the arena for them to play in, and because that's the most expensive part, and it's it takes a long time. So if you're talking about a team like Memphis Grizzlies or New Orleans Pelicans to relocate because they're in a much smaller metro than we are, they don't want to come here and have to start from the ground up. They would, if it's an easy transition, that makes it a no-brainer for them. Yeah.
What's interesting is let's start from Coleman Ferguson. What was the inspiration and passion for you to take on such a daunting task? And I know you've taken a little bit of heat in the media for being a small business owner, which that kind of pisses me off, quite frankly, is when the media attacks small business people. Like you can't make this happen just because you're a small business.
Right. And I think what I like. The inspiration is that my first inspiration, which led to much more inspirations, but my first one was I attended a big show at the Norfolk Scope. That was Nate Bargatze, and this was kind of the straw that
I love Nate.
Yeah, the straw that broke the camel's back was we were super excited. My wife and I were going to the Nate Bargatze show, and Nate Bargatze sold out 4 shows at the Norfolk Scope, 2 each day. He kept adding days. He started off with 1 show that went to 2 shows to multiple times during the shows because it was selling out so well.
What does Scope seat? 9,000?
Right over 9,300. Their numbers changed as far as remodels go. But it's right under 10,000.
So he had 36,000 people show up.
All sold out. All 4 shows sold out. Nate Bargatze. But we go to the show. We go to a restaurant down on Granby Street.
Yeah.
And when we get to this restaurant, we look around. We saw our friends across the bar. We waved to them. We sat at the bar. We ordered our food. And then I look over my shoulder and I see another group of friends that had a big table, 8 people over in the corner. And after we ordered, we went and said hi to the other people at the bar. We go to the group of 8. We say hi all to them. They're both going to Nate Bargatze, so everybody's going to Nate Bargatze. Then we see another group of 4. We say hi to them, go back to our seats, and walking in, another group of people. And the one thing that all these people that we saw at this small restaurant, half of the restaurant were people going to Nate Bargatze. These people were all from Virginia Beach. They all lived in Virginia Beach and were going to Norfolk to this show.
Interesting.
So that was like, okay. So then we got to Nate Bargatze, and, we saw, obviously friends have the same interests, but all these friends that I saw, I have friends in Norfolk, Chesapeake, Hampton. I have people, everybody was from Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
So they're all going to the show. So then that was, on the way home, my wife and I just talked about it. I was like, why doesn't Virginia Beach, our biggest, largest city in the state, have an arena to do these shows. We have this old Norfolk Scopes rundown. He has to do somebody as big as Nate Bargatze, who's selling out multiple shows all over the country, sells out multiple nights at the Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden, just all over the country. And luckily he picks Norfolk, and he does 4 shows. So I started doing some more research. And I was like, why hasn't this happened? I remember them trying to do it. Why did it fail? So I just went and Googled Virginia Beach Arena, and I wanted to see what was the reason why we didn't do it. And I was doing the research, and I saw that they failed because they didn't have enough money to get it done. So then I was like, okay, how would you build an arena? It's like, I'm not Steve Ballmer, as I like to compare myself. And he built his own arena in LA. But how can we get an arena in Virginia Beach? How can it happen? And when I started doing research, I came across the deal maker in the Green Bay Packers deal. And that was the real flame that sparked. I'm like, oh my God, this can be done.
Yeah.
So I seen a company like Dealmaker, and I saw these different raises. They did the Green Bay Packers, which was huge, but I saw they raised $300 million for the Green Bay Packers in 3 months. And the $300 million that the investors invested in the Green Bay Packers, they didn't really get ownership in the team. They got a certificate. They got no equity. They get no profit sharing, nothing like that. There's no financial gain that any of these shareholders can get. They just have a piece of paper that say they own shares. They don't get tickets. They don't get nothing. They get a certificate.
Yeah.
So you could invest $50 million in the Green Bay Packers, and you still got to buy tickets to the game.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, they got that much money. How'd they do it? They crowdfunding, these different types of crowdfunding that they can do. And I saw that Dealmaker not only did Green Bay Packers, they did this new team that started the Oakland Ballers, which is a minor league team. In Oakland, after the A's left, this guy came up with an idea to start a minor league team. The Oakland Ballers, super successful. Their raise was huge. And not only does Dealmaker has done some sports, they do sports all over the world. They've raised money for teams in Europe, but they also have done like Miso Robotics, Energy X, Picasso. All these, they raised $77 million for Picasso in less than a year. So I've seen all these raises, and they're all done via crowdfunding. So that would kind of say that, okay, now where do we build this thing?
Yeah.
And my first post online is I did some AI renderings, and I found some pieces of property for sale, and I put it out there on Facebook, and I said, how cool would it be to have an arena, something along the lines, how cool would it be to have an arena here in Virginia Beach? Who would want it? And it took off. It got, thousands and thousands of likes, thousands of comments. I posted like one off Northampton, one off Princess Anne, and one of the oceanfront. And it had a lot of interest. The comments were great. Oh my God, this would be so cool. So that's when I was like, okay, how can I do this? So then I started researching. I reached out to Dealmaker, and I told them about the idea, and they were like, hold on, you're going to do what? Oh, you're doing what? So I sent them an email. They told me, I called them, and I sent them an email of everything I was going to do and the exact plan. And they called me back the very next day, and they loved the idea. They only take on 40 clients at a time. So they said, let's do this. We would love to help you raise the money for this. We think this can happen. So that's when I started with full speed. I went out to I made a small proposal. I sent it to the Economic Development Department, and I said I have an idea to build an arena here in Virginia Beach, whether it be on city land or private land. So private land. I want to build an arena here, and I did a press conference at the oceanfront, and that's when I made my announcement. That was on July 7th. And
2025.
This year. Yep. So this year. I made that announcement on July 7th, and then I went to work. I started calling companies. I looked at all the previous deals. So I looked at who the people were working with on the previous deal in 2017. I reached out to Mortenson's Construction. I reached out to Populous. I reached out to a bunch of different construction architects, and to kind of pick their brain and see if they wanted to come back and be a part of this deal. And then I eventually landed on HKS. They did AT&T Stadium. They did SoFi Stadium, which might be one of the nicest football stadiums in the world. They did that, but they also did Fizzer Forum in Milwaukee, so they did an NBA arena. So AT&T, SoFi, and Fizzer Forum, and their headquarters, one of their headquarters is based out of Richmond, so they're large. So I reached out to them. A few days later, they get back to me. The guy, his name's Mike Dry. He's their head architect, and he's from Virginia Beach, which made it even cooler.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yep, he's been worked on projects in the past. He worked on a project in 2008 to build an arena at the oceanfront on a different piece of property on like off 17th Street where the trailer park is.
Right.
They had an idea to do it then, and so he was super excited. He was super on board. So then, I reached out to Ballard, SB Ballard Construction, and I met with one of their guys, and I talked to them, and I was researching who could build it because I reached out to other construction companies nationwide, but upon my research, you could be the biggest construction company in the world if, to basically, in layman's terms, architects draw it, contractor reads do it, and it's just they read the blueprint and they just build it. They put it together. It's like Legos.
Yeah.
But somebody draws it. So some of these big people that could build it, if you bring them, you have to house them for years. You got to. It would be unfeasible to try to bring somebody in. It needs to be a local builder. So SB Ballard, who did it, they did Rivers Casino. They did. Yeah. They're doing the new casino, but they also did the Atlantic Union Bank Arena for the JMU. They did SB Ballard Stadium, which is the ODU football stadium.
Right.
They built They built everything big, cool in this area. SB Ballard did. So they were also working on the last plan. So SB Ballard. So that's kind of how the plan evolved, and that's when I knew this thing. People they were on board.
Well, you know what's funny? To kind of interject on your conversation here with Steve Ballard.
Yeah,
that's another guy here locally who just started out humble beginnings, young concrete guy.
Yeah.
Right? Just pouring concrete for, local mom and pops.
Yeah.
And he grew that into a massive construction empire in Hampton Roads.
Yeah, he did.
And he's the premier builder, I would say now. Maybe Armada Hoffler and some of those guys that are more developers than they are.
Yeah, developer. This guy, they're builders. They're building it. They're the ones that's doing it. And they're big, like you said. Steve started off as, you can almost say from stories I was talking about, and doing remodels at people's houses.
Right.
Like, with hands-on type work, and then just built that into this massive.
Which is awesome.
I love and everything he builds the coolest things around here.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of stuff he does is in record time. They built, I think they said, SB Ballard Stadium was built 6 months ahead of schedule. So
that's unheard of.
No, right. A lot of his stuff, if you look at Rivers Casino and you see where Norfolk, he just got awarded the job and they just started building that. But when you look at Rivers Casino, that was supposed to they got that up so fast. That's 4 years ahead of the Norfolk one. Everything he does is like, he does it. So I think he's the best one for the job. There'll be a formal bidding process, but it would have
hopefully the local boy wins.
He's going to win, right? He's going to win. I mean, he's going to be the one that we want to do this project. He's going to do it fast, so it would take somebody outrageous to outbid him.
I think my production team put some renderings up here. You guys want to throw that up on the screen here?
Yeah. So those are those are all.
They put them up here for us.
Oh, super cool! Yeah. So all those right there. That's on our website. These are that is the original post. I left that on the website because this was some of the original things that I put up there. And if you look at that Northampton Corridor one and the Princess Anne one, on top of that said Dominion Energy originally. So that was the one. And shout out to Dominion Energy. We can work with you in the future, but they did ask us to remove their name.
That's funny.
But
I kind of like the one on the far left.
Oh Coleman. Yeah, this is our bread and butter right here. So this is what
that's a badass Neptune.
Yeah, so we got the Neptune statue up front, and when I was doing this and for coming up with this design, I wanted a wavy roof. I wanted it to look like waves. I wanted it to be very glass focused. So that's kind of our concept. That's what the architect has, and when they draw this, they are drawing it to. This is what they're going to do. Once we've done test fits, at 19th Street and other areas, so we know where it can fit. And
So would this theoretically be across the street from the convention center?
it's going to be across the street and to the west. So the west
Okay.
of the Sports Center, touching Bird Neck Road.
Got it.
So that's kind of our vision to put it there. That's where we want to do it.
Okay.
And that's where our proposal that we submitted with the city is building it there.
And how many would this seat?
20,000. So
20,000.
we're gonna it's gonna be somewhere between 17 and 20,000. That's the number you need for an NBA team or NHL teams. You have
Okay.
to have that number. So it might be 19,230 or 20,000 seats, but somewhere in that range. We want to be the same size as the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. So the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City is 20,000 seats, and they operate solely off concert shows and events. They do Disney on Ice, they do Sabrina Carpenter, big shows, and they don't have a pro sports tenant. Ours, same concept. We want to be able to function. We'll do shows, concerts all winter long, is what we don't have in this area as well, and then we'll be NBA, NHL ready when that comes knocking. We're actually we'll be pursuing. We're going to use all of our contacts, so we're going to be reaching out to Memphis and New Orleans and asking them to relocate. But when that door comes knocking and saying, "Hey, we're looking to relocate," we're ready for you.
What do you think? This is kind of a side story to the building, but the NBA right now has got a little bit of a black eye this week from the gambling that's gone on behind the scenes. What do you think that does to the image of the league long term?
I don't think it's going to hurt the image of the NBA, but it's going to put the brakes on the sports betting. Sports betting is getting a little bit out of control. It just time and time again, these people in these positions, they can't control. It's just been proven time again. This can't control. So it was one isolated incident. Then the Jonte Porter thing happened, and then it's just like, okay, what happened is sports betting was completely isolated. It was to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah.
And when sports betting was only in Las Vegas, and then or underground bookies,
Right.
there wasn't a market for somebody to. Now it's in almost all 50 states. So
And it's global.
Yeah, that's in global. So it's obviously it's reason it's new news is because they've scaled it. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
It never happened. If it did happen, it was on the Donahue thing for the referee that was doing it. It's very hard for somebody, and this is going to show. No matter how much money they have, they get greedy. So I think this is going to shut down the sports betting, which I'm for that because doing a lot of research on the sports betting world is hurting a lot of young males. They advertise. You got this biggest names advertising DraftKings, Kevin Hart. They have made sports betting so cool, and they wave this advantage like it's 50-50 bets, like where it's less than 1%. But the way that these sports platforms are designed, the main action isn't on the games. They push you to bet these prop bets, which they have 40, 50, 60% edges on. And they're pushing you to do all that, and they want you to bet the props. And they want you to bet these things where they can have a house edge. It's a lot harder edge if the sports books only could perform on bet who's going to win the game and with the point spread. That would give them, I think it's 9% advantage, or they would win 9% of the money. When you do it on props and they're paying you 5-1 that this guy scores 20 points when his true odds is like 40-1 to really, and you're still looking at it good. Oh man, I'm allowed to bet 100. It's gone out of control. It's in every state. Nothing is, these.
The VIG is so much wider.
Yeah, a lot of young people are hurting. I've seen a lot of interviews. 60 Minutes did a whole thing on it recently, and then now you're seeing it. It's rigging the games. It's going to hurt if you don't stop it. It's going to hurt the league. Did he hurt his ankle, or did somebody have a bet on it?
Yeah, you go back and look at Rozier now. I mean, that's all over Instagram.
Yeah, it looks like,
Of course he threw it. Now you're like, oh, now I see it.
Oh, when he airballed one, did he airball that on purpose? He had under in his points.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he made a bad pass, was that a bad pass intentional? I don't understand. Like, I like money. But I feel like if I had I seen Chauncey Billups, he made $106 million in his career.
Yeah.
How much more money do you want?
And he's a coach.
And you're
Yeah,
coaching in the
coach.
league, and they're rigging poker games and like rigging it.
Yeah.
These poker games can make money without rigging it. They're rigging it, and so I think the NBA will be fine if they shut down sports betting, but they're not going to be able to take another big. This was a big blow this week. Shut the sports betting down, it'll go away. A lot of stuff goes away if they put a stop to it. But if they don't, it could a couple big blows. Don't let it be LeBron. Like if you saw what happened to Ohtani, MLB just swept that right under the rug. We don't even talk about that anymore. They put it all on his interpreter. This guy that's with him every day. So regardless of the fact with Ohtani, and I could talk about it more. Ohtani was with this guy every day. So when you're with somebody every single day, if I was with you every day, and a story comes out, and I'm with you every day, and sports betting is something you do on your phone call. You never. If I was with you every day for years, and I was like, oh, that guy was making bets. What? I didn't know that.
Right.
That can't be true. That just can't be true. But Ohtani's the best player we've ever seen in baseball. So they'll find ways to sweep this under the rug, and then what they're going to do is they'll trash Chauncey Billups, they'll trash Terry Rozier, anybody connected to this. They'll trash them, throw them away. Not good for the league. Just like when an NFL player gets in a DUI and kills somebody, they'll sweep it under whatever. It's just not gone.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to get us off on a tangent on it, but I mean it's
something
part
to talk about. Yeah, no, it's part of, because
Yeah.
we're trying to pursue an NBA, and I need NBA to have a good face because I want that for our city. It draws in a lot of people. It brings people together. That's the one thing that Hampton Roads doesn't have. Our largest university is Old Dominion. I think they have 23,000 students.
Right.
Our football stadium, our football team is doing good. But when you go to a football game or these big events, if anybody's been to one of those 100,000 seat games where if you go to the Alabama or South Carolina or Tennessee, when you go to that, the amount of camaraderie where it brings people together.
Yeah.
When you got 100,000 people rooting for the same team, there's nothing like it. And I think if you had 20,000 people rooting for the same Virginia Beach team, it's gonna bring us.
And
together.
the money that's spent just over a weekend in the surrounding businesses,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The numbers are the numbers I've seen, like when I've read feasibility studies that were done, $20-30 million a year economic impact, but it's a $1 billion impact.
You would think the Bruce Thompsons and the hotel owners of Virginia Beach would really be behind this. Are you getting any attention from those type folks?
Some, yes. So we are getting attention from some big hitters that want to be behind this, and we've gotten people that own big pieces of land, real expensive land, that want us to build it on their land as well. So we have had tons of hotel owners from the oceanfront reach out to us. They want to be a part of it. They also want to be an investor. So we definitely have that. We haven't heard anything from Bruce Thompson, but anybody who owns a oceanfront hotel would love to have this. I couldn't see them not want. And if you own an oceanfront restaurant, if you own any oceanfront business, this is going to be great for you.
Right.
Yeah,
I can't imagine how it would be harmful for any business.
Yeah, this is going to be huge for the oceanfront. And the one thing that this does, and especially if we land an NBA tenant is going to play 41 games in the wintertime. So 41 games in the wintertime with 20,000 people a night. That is the type of stuff that the oceanfront is crickets, and during the wintertime. We're crickets. You got locals that support some of these restaurants. You see a lot of businesses will just lock the doors up. They close, and we don't have that one key step. The Dome is a good start. That only holds 5,000 people. Atlantic Park is designed for a summertime attraction, but I could see the Dome. It's only 5,000 people total, and it's like 3,000 inside. But that could attract some people in the surrounding area during the wintertime. So they're going to be doing concerts, which we've never had at the oceanfront. If you go back, unless you go back 50 years when the original Dome was there.
Yeah.
Right. But we haven't had that. We need that at the oceanfront. We don't have the wintertime. I don't understand how we could not be focused on generating business during the wintertime. Why haven't we done that?
And I think there's also an incentive to bring higher-end hotels to the Virginia Beach oceanfront, too. I mean, right now we have the Cavalier, and arguably, the Marriott across the street is and it is a very nice hotel.
100%.
But I mean, if we could bring in
The Ritz-Carlton.
a Ritz or Four
Yeah,
Seasons.
well, I think we bring the stuff that this arena is going to do, and I hope I'm doing this on a big, huge Netflix documentary in 10 years from now, that where we were and where we are now, I think like the Schoonover Hotel is for sale for $26 million and on one of the most prime locations you could ever get on the East Coast. And, nobody's biting on it now, but if we had an NBA team, if we're built up, if our population's growing,
Yeah.
I feel like the Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, or somebody's going to come in and swoop that up immediately.
Right.
I mean, we do pretty big business already without any wintertime attractions. There's no draw at the oceanfront for the winter. We don't do nothing. We
Right.
do we don't have really festivals. Everything's designed for the summer because of the thing. But this arena is going to be indoors, and that's where people are going to come in. They're going to stay at all the hotels. They're going to still eat at the restaurants, and they're going to go to this arena all year round.
And artists will now go, hey, book me
Yes.
at Neptune Arena.
Right.
Or
right,
whatever
yeah,
it is.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's the that's the goal. I think we can do it. This will be so big for our city. And the one thing that I want this arena, whether I was involved or not, I want it.
Have you had any of our local music or athletes, Pharrell or Timbaland or a Michael Vick or any of their camp reach out to say, hey, this is kind of cool. Let's talk about it.
We haven't had those type of stars reach out, but we have had people in there, not them directly, but we have had people in camps of big stars reach out to us, wanting to find out more information. We've had big companies where they were like, how can we be involved in wanting to find out more information?
Yeah.
I was at Joe Smith's golf tournament yesterday. This is another person that could be behind the project. Joe Smith, if you don't know who he is, he was the number 1 draft pick in 1995.
Yeah.
He's one of our famous athletes from this area. And so we
And gives back to this area quite a bit.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we were talking with them and him and his team yesterday about this thing, and they're all for it. They love the idea of it. So we're starting there, and that's going to grow it. And I think as this project progresses, you're going to see big names behind it. And what I would kind of say is, there's a damn it if you do, damned if you don't. It's like when the smaller guy's doing it, it's like, who are you? Who are you the guy to do it? And if you get too big of a name, when Pharrell was doing, they're like, oh, Pharrell, the rich get richer. You know, we don't want that. They why don't you put your own money up? So there's really, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I'm happy to be the kind of underdog story and promoting this without the big names at this time. But the big names, once this thing starts going, are going to just become in naturally.
Which I think if you get, you're doing this through a crowdfunding right now, which from a regulatory point of view is capped at $5 million. And you're currently where right now in your raise? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, so right now we are closing in on $1 million, and we're doing $50,000 a day. And as this thing progresses, this thing's going to get even. It's going to start.
And you're
building.
talking about folks hitting it like $1,000. But what's the
Right.
minimum?
So right now our minimum's $250, and we have talked with Dealmaker, and because of this volume that we're getting, they want to raise it up to $1,000 minimum. So to get a little bit less investors, so we're almost at 2,000 investors right now. So we're trying to get this to, not that we want people to be involved, but there's a point where like somebody wants to invest, but they want to invest the minimum. They just want to own a small share of it, and they think that because this raise is doing so well that we need to raise that $250 limit to $1,000.
And I think it's important to share with folks out there. This is not a money grab for you, from what I see. This is work. It's like a passion.
This is a passion, and I'm having fun with it. But this is not a money grab. This is not going to make me any money. I'll tell this people right now. This is going to make me $0, but it's going to improve the city of Virginia Beach. So that's priceless. So improving the city that I have other businesses in is priceless, whether I make $1 or not.
Your ice cream shop might be pretty popular in the stadium, then, right?
Yeah, right. So we'll put another superheroes ice cream. I think we might do both. It might sound You know, we have a wedding venue too. Maybe I think we'll do weddings, and I think we're definitely going to have Superheroes ice cream.
I'd hate to be the dad paying for 20,000 guests
Yeah.
at my
So
daughter's
maybe
wedding.
we'll try to pipe and we'll try to find make a ballroom or pipe and drape it up. But yeah, the raise is the raise is going good. So with my meeting with Dealmaker yesterday, which is incredible. I want more and faster,
Yeah.
right? But they're saying that this is one of their best raises they've ever done. They've done
Really?
Yeah, this is one of the best ones they've ever done, and we're in the top 5%. And that when they listed off the other companies that they had done, and putting Virginia Beach Arena project in there with some of these large scale companies, it's unbelievable. I'm like, wow. And we're talking about this company, the companies that they did. This company Picasso raised $77 million, and you can look up Picasso. They raised $77 million in a year through Dealmaker.
What does Picasso do?
They are like get investors to buy real estate
Okay.
and kind of in that
Guys,
space.
look up Picasso just so we have a relative conversation.
Yeah, there you go. Pull up Picasso, and they just closed their race. They got
So Picasso real estate development.
yeah. So Picasso. Crowdfunded real estate. It's Picasso. I think it's that first one. That's them. But you can look up. You search Picasso Dealmaker. And it will
Wait a minute. Was this a Utah Jazz or Bradley? Is the kid Bradley behind this basketball player that played at BYU?
I don't know. Go back. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so this is the company, and if you go to, let's see, let me find it. I'll send you to the right link. But yeah, Picasso is they were a big investment company.
That looks like press there, Jake.
Yeah, that's some press right there. But Picasso invests.
So the point in sharing this is that Picasso
has done was another crowdfunded
raise
that raised $77 million through Regulation A+. And yeah, they have if you go to invest.picasso.com. Let's see.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, invest.picasso.com. Let's see if that's it.
So what the company's telling you is that, hey, you're getting the same type of
It's Picasso.
interest.
It's a PACASO. Invest.picasso.com. PACASO. And we are getting the type of
yeah, he's got it over here.
yeah, there you go. That's it right there. So that's that they closed their raised out. They got $77 million that they did in less than a year, and we are getting as much or more than this company did that raised $77 million through their Regulation CF, and they got $280 million right there raised from private investors.
Wow.
And this type of momentum that we're doing, they see a potential where we might not have to get a loan, that we might be able to raise the capital all from investors. And what that would do is have a 0% interest payment. We wouldn't have a payment. So this thing would be in the green, in the driver's seat to make a lot of money.
Yeah. What would your crowd investors get? Is there any opportunity for them to get a return on investment versus what happened with the Packers?
Yes. So ours is way different than the Packers because you're going to own Class A common stock shares. So the more shares you own, the bigger part of the company you do own. And our plan, if everything goes well, if the arena makes profit, you're going to make a profit. These are liquid dividend type shares. So our plan is, if we're making profit, is to pay a dividend to these shareholders. We're right now the projection would be like $1 a year dividend, so $1 per share. So right now that would be almost a 10% return on your money. So every year, if it goes well, you're going to make a 10% return on your investment. So if you got $10,000, you're going to be making $1,000 a year annually. That's a pretty good. That would be solid.
So if you're talking about an arena, and I think I heard you throw out the number earlier that the arena, based off what your architect has shown in pro forma, would be about 700 million.
Yeah, so 700 million with similar with surround as well as some surrounding infrastructure. The all-in cost is around $700 million.
So you got to do about 560 million a year to be profitable on that.
No,
that arena?
No. So we need to do our revenue is we're looking to do 100 to 150 million dollars a year and clearing somewhere in the 15 to 25 million in profit.
Okay.
So if we do that,
I'm using a number that if you had to finance, but if you're not having to finance,
if we're not financing it, we wouldn't finance 700 million. We would need to So we would have zero. We would have zero debt. Our debt would be taxes.
Yeah.
Real estate tax, and then
is the city going to offer anything there if you pull this together?
I've submitted my proposal where we don't want any tax abatements either, and we will have a performance. We will have a performance bottom. I also did in my proposal. We're trying to make this juicy for the city because I've done research on what these arenas can do in numbers wise, and we put a $5 million bottom. And we would subsidize the rest. We're going to do $5 million in new taxes from this arena to the city. And if we don't, let's say we do 4.3, we're going to have to come up with the 700,000 to subsidize it. Obviously, we would put in the deal if COVID happens or something drastic. But on normal operating years, we're subsidized $5 million a year because
with $700 million arena, the city's going to right off the top. There's at least $7 million a year in property tax. Right?
Correct. And there is a plan. So this is we would our shareholders and board members would have to vote on this in the future, but there is a plan in the city. City leaders listening to this podcast is we could work out a deal with the city where we could donate the arena to them as well, and this could be a asset for the city for life. And civically, I think when the Virginia Beach is selling themselves to the world, is that they own this arena. They could use that arena, and where we wouldn't, we would just operate we would own and operate the company and control the land where the arena, and we would get all revenue and profit from that area, but we don't act. The city owns the arena. They own the land and the arena. They lease it to us for 100 years, and they own it. And it's not to avoid real estate tax. It's kind of a partnership agreement where the city gets to own it, where they can publicly say we own that arena, not Virginia Beach Arena. So I think that's a win-win where we save, like you said, $7 million a year real estate taxes, but that would be a board member discussion down the road where we could maybe offer that to the city.
Yeah.
But if we do, as property value goes up, we might be paying $7 million a year, but if we do own the arena, we could leverage the arena in future remodels or future financing because we'd have an asset to do. But the long-term lease is also an asset. So when you go to a bank and if you have if you control all revenue on that property, whether you own the arena or not, the real estate tax to the bank may look more like a liability than an asset. So if you take that $7 million a year off the books, but you have this 100-year lease, that could be for future investment, whether we're building infrastructure, remodeling the arena, whatever we wanted to do in the future as a Virginia Beach Arena Corporation, because that's what people are buying into too. They're not just buying the arena, they're buying into Virginia Beach Arena Corporation, which will own and operate this arena, all surrounding infrastructure. If you own a piece of Virginia Beach Arena Corporation, we could do this somewhere else in the future, or Virginia Beach Arena Corporation has a proven concept. We could raise the money, do this arena here. We go do it in Austin, Texas. We go do it in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or we go do it in some of these other big cities that don't have it. And so that's what you're kind of buying into. But there's kind of plans. We don't want any city money. We don't want anything. We think this thing will be profitable without any handouts.
Interesting. And right now you've got a group of investors in a crowdfunding sense who are supporting it, who are behind it. What is your next marketing plan to try to attract, a larger, maybe anchor investor?
Right. So our next marketing thing right now, we are raising money. We don't have the land yet, but we're going to get the money without any land regardless. So the land, if we can lock up this deal with the city and secure the land to build it here, that is when we're going to go to people like you maybe. We're going to go to the accredited investors through the Regulation D, and that's where we have a long-term lease we have 11.8 acres here. We have 9.2 acres next to the convention center. We're going to build parking. We're going to build this arena. We're going to build the infrastructure around it. Let's invest. And I think for the big guys who want some more, they want some more stability for their investment, securing that land on a 100-year lease is going to be where that sounds like a great idea. So that's where the big guys are going to come in, is when you have that secured. So there's a lot of what's good right now with the investment is it's all done through the SEC. If you invested right now, you could go on there and invest $50,000. You're going to have 21 days from right now, no questions asked. You change your mind next week. You were drunk when you made that investment. Whatever. You go on there. You go to our portal. You hit refund. You get your money back instantly. That's one of the security measures on that, which is great. That's just why I like doing the raise. I wanted everybody to feel comfortable for the raise. I didn't want everybody handing me checks. You can do that pre-launch. I wanted the public to be able to invest first, and I wanted the public to invest in a real huge safety net, which you go through Dealmaker, who is a FINRA compliance crowdfunding company. So they are the compliance. SEC regulates it. So every dollar that is invested is overseen by the SEC, that's the biggest microscope you could ever do. And if we don't reach our funding goals, everybody's going to get their money back.
Is there a cost or a carry from the corporation to the investors? So how are you compensated out of this?
How am I?
Yeah.
I'm not compensated, whatever. In my Form C, I do have a future $60,000 a year salary, but yeah. So I do. That's my compensation. I am going to own shares. I did buy shares into this arena, so I own shares. But the business has to make money for me to make money, and while I'm working, my salary is listed. I'm going to make $60,000 a year,
unless the board gives you a raise.
Unless the board gives me a raise, but. I don't want to raise, and I want this arena to do well. And to be honest, I want this arena so bad. If there was a buyout opportunity where our investors would make money, if our investors agreed, if we did a vote, and everybody's going to get voting rights depending on how many shares you own, you're going to have voting rights. Hypothetically, if the owner of the Memphis Grizzlies was like, "Hey, I want to buy the whole company, I want to buy the whole thing. I'll buy you guys out for." Whatever it is, $500 million. And if we had wherever, depending on what stage we were at in the race, I want the arena. If I thought that was going to be what it took to get it done, and somebody came in and our shareholders were okay with that, let's do it. Yeah. So I'm all for the shareholders being able to make money. Is that what I want? I want the shareholders to have a way to make money, and I want this arena to get done.
Let's say an NBA team right now. Do you know valuation on like the Grizzlies? What their
right
market
now?
cap?
Yeah, there's we know the Portland Trailblazers just sold for $4 billion. I'll have to look that up. The Portland Trailblazers just sold. That's a smaller market team like the Portland Trailblazers. So I would say Memphis Grizzlies is in that $4 billion range.
Look up Trailblazers. See what they sold for, guys.
They just sold. Tom Dundon, who owns the Carolina Hurricanes. Yeah, he was the big name on the, and then there's some minority owners as well in that deal, and I believe it was $4 billion, and they've said now that they want to keep the team in Portland, but there's nothing forcing them to keep the team in Portland. Yeah, and you talk about when now the head coach Chauncey Billups is going to jail. That is another thing where if you're like, this might be too big of a hurdle to try to overcome. We need this arena where a team like Portland, who's talked about moving in the past, the guy that owned Nike, he didn't want to sell it, but now that he's gone, his estate, they've been trying to push for keep the team in Portland, but you can't sell it. It's hard to sell and say do exactly what I say.
Right.
You will sell it to you, but you have to keep it here, and you got to do what I say. That doesn't necessarily work when you sell something.
Yeah.
Right? If I buy this podcast from you, it would be hard for you to say you got to buy it, but you got to do it in my building or do it or not, and you got to do it here, whatever. Right. So, and some bad news like that, your head coach getting arrested by the FBI. I think that could be, anything's possible.
Yeah, valuation just went in the toilet for a few days.
I think that if they would have waited 2 months, so $4.2 billion is what they sold it for.
Yeah, 4.25. There it is.
So $4.2 billion. So we know people want to buy teams. There's a high market for it, and teams are wanted so bad that there is they handpick these people that buy it. They get the most amount of money for them. So I think, today's dollars, somebody could buy a team and move it here. And if you're thinking about Memphis and New Orleans, let's even more focus on Memphis. New Orleans is it's not the nicest area, but let's say if we can all agree that New Orleans is nicer than Memphis. So if hypothetically somebody wanted to buy the Memphis Grizzlies Virginia Beach was a place that you could move to with a brand new arena, that could be a huge, draw. We need the arena. The arena is the only thing that's going to draw them in. That makes it easier. We're going to spend $4 billion on the team and another, $700 million on building the arena. That doesn't do it for them.
Yeah.
What they all do is they don't want to. Most of them are okay with not owning the arena. Steve Ballmer and a couple other ones wanted to own it all, but a lot of them they lease this arena from the city of Memphis. That's what they do, so that they can lease it right from us. If I'm ahead of the ticket, if I'm on top and making the calls at the time, I'll tell Robert Pera, who owns the Memphis Grizzlies, you play here for free for the first year. The cost it would be peanuts compared to the long-term chance. If they do a year for free and they get great turnout and they sell out, they're going to want to sign a long-term deal. So that year for free is not going to be nothing compared to the long-term. When you get 41 dates locked up a year, that's huge.
Well, dude, you were a pretty ballsy dude to want to go try to make this happen. I know it's a passion, and it's cool to see someone pick it up and try to run with the ball again. When you're not focused on this, where can people find you? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm all over, but I'm a big family man, so I do a lot of family stuff. But our main business is the Gala 417. It's in Virginia Beach. It's a wedding venue. We do 99% weddings, so if you're getting married, you can find me there. But
what's your website? We'll give it a little shout out.
Yeah, thank you. It's thegala417.com. And my wife built a beautiful website. We are very proud of this website. And what we like about our website, so thegala417.com, is the website is going to give you all the information you need. We put all of our price in there. We do a virtual tour so you can see the venue. We have all of our available dates, so you can see all of our available dates on there. Everything we offer, everything that we do, everything that's included. So if
bring it up here, guys.
Yeah, you can bring it up there. So yeah, everything that we do is listed on there. So we like to be. I'm a transparent person, and what I'm doing with this arena is I've been making videos every day, keeping people informed and updated. And like when we opened up this wedding venue for our website, we don't try to get you to come do a tour and then we'll talk about dates later. We tell you every date we have available. We tell you every dollar. Most venues, if you look up other venues, they don't tell you any of their pricing.
Yeah.
You look up a hotel or whatever, they don't tell you any pricing. They want you to come in. They want you to do a tour. Then they ask you your budget, and then they kind of come up with a custom price. We lay it all out there. This is our price. This is what we charge. This is what's included, and you can make your decision yourself. These are our available dates. We try to do less selling and just show you what we got.
Yeah. This is down by Long Bay Point, huh?
Yeah,
this is
Long Bay
awesome.
Point. Yep.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So this is our venue. We did 212 weddings last year.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And what is a average wedding? Folks who are coming to you guys, what's it usually costing?
The average wedding is going to cost most people around $20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your all-in cost. That's with the rental. That's with all the chairs, table, food, open bar, whatever. That's going to get you the whole space. So That is
That's awesome.
that's your all-in cost. Some of these hotels, and they have, $30,000 minimums and stuff like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, so we that's not us. We don't have any food or beverage minimum, so we'll do a 20-person wedding, and we'll do a 200-person wedding.
But you'll do private events too, right?
Oh yeah, we'll do anything. We do birthday parties, we do fundraisers, we've done anything, political events. We've done it all.
Okay.
If you call us, we'll do your event if it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do the catering as well,
we
or
do
do you
all- yeah,
outsource the catering?
Nope, we have a head chef on staff. So we do all the food, all the beverage. We try to be a one-stop shop.
Okay.
Yep.
And then let's throw up your ice cream shop too.
Yeah, Superheroes Ice Cream.
How'd you come up with that?
That was all my son. This is my son. We used to do ice cream reviews, so my son and I would do ice cream reviews, and he's just smart, man. I know everybody brags about their kid and how smart their kids are. My son was like, why don't we own our own? You have a wedding venue. Why? And he was, getting ready to turn 4 years old when he said this. He was like, why don't we have our own ice cream place?
Huh.
And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. We were reviewing. We went to 20 different ice cream places. They're all busy, and we used to go to Dave and Buster's when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And there was no ice cream around there in that Lynn Haven Mall area, so we found a spot. Shout out Tyler Brooks to help me find the spot, and yeah, it's been going awesome. So one thing cool that we do is you can reserve our party room. We have a party room, and we don't charge for it. So the party room's free. You can do your birthday party there. So go to superheroesicecream.com, where you can reserve the party room. You can click on there, and you can reserve it.
Nice.
Yep.
So this is what you do for real during the day is give people experiences, right?
Yeah, I think that's kind of where my path has led us. We are, I'm all about experience, whether it be a wedding, a kid's birthday party. That's kind of our passion, and that's kind of where we think, we like bringing people together, and those are some of the coolest things. And the arena will be the largest scale ever on that scale of bringing people together. But that's kind of what's fun for us.
Man. Coleman, thanks so much
No
for
problem, man.
joining us on the show.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me. This is the coolest thing. If you want to be on this podcast, reach out to Kenny. This is if you have a good idea or something. Reach out to him. This is awesome. This is one of the most beautiful. This is the nicest place I might have ever been. This is really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You know
thank
what,
you.
man? I had a vision, but my son Jacob in there in the control room, and my son-in-law Ian. We started with humble beginnings on the first floor in our financial firm during COVID.
Yeah.
I fired myself out of my CEO office and turned it into a little podcast studio.
Yeah.
And then we were just like, man, this is fun. And we want to do group interviews. We do them over here behind us in our pub.
Yeah. But this is nice. This is an operation, but this is the nicest podcast thing. I've been on some podcasts, and this is nice. But this is nicer than and not just because I'm on this. This is nicer than a lot of the podcast rooms I've seen on TV. I look at Joe Rogan's room compared to this. This is I don't see any. This is nicer.
Oh, that's a great compliment. I love
good.
Joe Rogan.
I wish
so
we
that's
could. Can we? Another camera. Is there a way to span where we could see this whole talking area and how nice this thing is? Is there a way to see?
yeah.
that?
We'll have to do that in
we can add one in post.
post production.
Okay, yeah, but this is super cool, and thank you guys for having me on. This is beautiful.
Yeah, well, we'll keep doing this.
Yeah.
I am 100% behind what you're doing. I'll throw some cash into it. I don't know how much, but
Keep going. What I try to tell people too is like,
I know how bad it felt when
invest. Invest at your own risk, but invest what you feel comfortable with. Invest as the progress goes along.
Yeah.
So obviously the evaluation right now you're getting in as cheap as possible. No, I won't. It could go lower. I can't say that, but it's $100 million valuation right now. We know this thing is going to cost $700 million to build.
Yeah.
So we know if we build it for $700 million and you invested now, you're in it's going to be $700 million at that point. So that's 7x. So I tell people, get in whenever you feel like the right time to get into that point. I want people to get in early. I could tell everybody, but
So you don't necessarily. This is a point I think we need to drive home. You're not saying you want to own an NBA team.
No.
You want to own the facility
We wanna
that
own the
teams lease from you.
Correct. We want to own the facility the teams lease for us. Now, if we start raising a bunch of money and we can start, flexing our muscles and be like, now like we raise so much money that we're gonna go buy an NBA team. I mean, that could be a future process. But but that's not the goal. The goal is
Yeah.
to build an arena, and we have this shiny, beautiful, brand new arena, and we're like, hey, come on, play.
Yeah.
Whether it's NBA expanding, which they've talked about doing, they want to add 2 more teams, or a team that's in a smaller market relocating.
Well, people love when I go and I travel. Like I do my TV show in Phoenix for my financial show, and I tell people I'm from Virginia Beach. They're like, "Oh man, I love that city. I was there years ago.
Yeah.
We went to the beach. You still have one of the best boardwalks, and we do."
Yeah, we have it all, and Virginia Beach has the longest stretch of beach, the longest stretch of pleasure beach in the world.
Yeah.
We have this long boardwalk. We have the hotels that run straight on down for miles. It's like, 40 streets, 40 blocks
Yeah.
of all hotels and boardwalk, which is unheard of. I've been to a lot of beach. South Beach is long, but it's nowhere close. And we have it all. Like you said, you talk to people a lot of people have been to Virginia Beach once, twice. They love it. They think it's beautiful. But there's the beauties that was a huge draw, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
We need more.
Yeah.
And when you go on vacation, like I don't know if you go wherever you're going, it has things to do.
Right.
And like when I go to Miami, and I'm a sports guy, I go to a lot of places where I can go to a game, whether it be football, basketball, baseball. Those are one of the things that I tie into my vacation.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. Yep. But
That's
thank you.
very
No,
cool.
yeah, this is so cool. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah. We'll have you back and keep
Keep us
up to speed with and keep updated.
Yeah,
with
let's
the
do
audience.
it. Yeah, this is so cool. Thank you.
Hey, hit the like button. Smash the subscribe button. What's all those other things you say on social
My
media?
son would know all that. My son knows it. Make sure you
All
like,
those things.
like, subscribe,
Yeah.
all the above. What y'all on every
Give
platform.
them some love here at the ice cream shop and
Yeah.
at their gala.
Follow this podcast. This is super cool. This is amazing. This background story I heard about Kenny is so cool to own a piece of a D League, a minority owner on a D League basketball team. I mean, that's every man's dream. That'd be so cool. Couldn't imagine doing something like that. That'd be cool.
It was fun, but it was an expensive ticket.
Yeah,
But
we've all made
I got a
financial
cool
mistakes.
basketball from it, and
You
I
did
got
get
to
a-
meet Craig Sager.
Yeah, Greg Sager, Fred Sager.
Condolences to the Johnson family. DJ actually passed away as our coach there, but man, it was a lot of fun. I got to go to the NBA All-Star game with Craig.
Yeah.
And spent the whole week with a press pass. That was a whole.
When you do that, you're on the
Oh my
court.
gosh.
You just get to go wherever you want. It's
Yeah.
fun.
I could not get any autographs, so I had to swear that I wouldn't have because I'm wearing press.
Yeah.
And like Shaq's going, he goes, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm Craig's friend."
Yeah.
And then all the jokes start.
Yeah. It's super cool. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But thanks for the shout out.
Thank you, man.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Thank you.
Wherever you ready, speed 180.
Blackbox.